Ignore that. All right. Reset. Rewind. Hey guys, welcome back to another Doom Fools podcast. I have one of the goats of CDH. He is one of the best brewers ever. If you've been listening to any podcast the last 5 years, you know who this guy is. He's probably one of the best Is It players ever. Stellally, you name it. Teamer Malcolm. We got Josh from Eldendrunkenhighlander. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Good. Yeah, you were one of the first guys that when I made the podcast, I'm like, I got to get this guy on.
Mhm.
He had
Yeah, we
the
got
team.
a little delayed, but we're here.
Hey, it's all good. It is all good. Now the channel's got a little momentum, so
Heck yeah.
we're all good. We just post boil going on, and I feel this episode we're gonna do some brewing. Like we're gonna kind of peel back the curtain a little bit, get to know Josh. We're gonna see how he puts together decks. Like he has Stella Lee, the other isn't one. Bralin Shabraz he's famous for, and Teamer
Yeah.
Malcolm, that's his baby. So we want to kind of
Yeah.
peel back the curtain of, hey man, how do you do this? And after we get the intros, we're gonna build a fucking CDH deck. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna get into it. I'll stop yapping. So when did you get into Magic and why?
Oh, that's a deep one. I actually got into Magic when I was in high school. I
Mm,
was a big Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon TCG player,
yeah.
and my parents had played Magic when they were like in college. So they had a bunch
Whoa.
of their old cards. They like found them in the attic, and they just kind of gave them to my brother and I. Like, oh, here's a card game. You guys like card games? They never actually like really played the game
Hmm.
very seriously. They like probably had like maybe 10, 12 hours on the game. So they weren't
Really?
like huge Magic players. They just kind
Hmm.
of knew the cards. Um, so they gave me my brother the cards. The first card I ever saw was Grizzly Bears, and I was like, this is awesome. Like Yu-Gi-Oh cards with flavor text, they
Grizzly
basically might
Bears.
not. Yeah, well, Yu-Gi-Oh cards like the flavor text might as well not exist. It
You're right.
doesn't mean
Right.
anything. It's meaningless. But I
Yeah.
was like Magic. I was like, oh, there's a locate. It said like don't outrun one of Dominaria's Grizzlies. It'll catch you, knock you down, and eat you. Of course, you could run up a tree. If in that case, you get a great view before it knocks the tree down and eats you. I'm like, okay, this sets up like there's a location, Dominaria. There are other cards that are referencing that. I was like, wow, and there's a joke on it. This is amazing. It like
Story.
tells you
Yeah.
like, oh, this grizzly bear's got 2 power and it can knock down a tree and eat a human. So humans are weak in this world. And that was like the first thing I saw. I was like, this game's awesome. I didn't even
I
need to
hate
know anymore.
humans.
I was just like, okay, 6. Like this is a bear, and a bear's only a 2/2. Like I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player, so I was like, this is a low level creature, and it's just a bear. This game's gonna have awesome shit.
Right,
So
right. Not
I
2400, 2400. Yeah.
yeah,
Genzo.
I got super into it. Yeah, yeah. No, there's nothing like that. But I was like, the biggest thing in our box, we had a Sengir like 2 or 3 Sengir vampires, and then one Sarah Angel. And then
Mm,
there was like a couple other like random like large-ish creatures. So I ended up building like green black like flyers
mm.
with featuring those mammoths, the 4 mana 3/3 mammoth with trample. And my brother built a mono white weenie with the singular Sarah Angel, and then he splashed red for 4 lightning bolts. Um,
Oh, okay.
which was yeah, he had the better deck for sure.
We're going to talk
He had like
about
the
Lightning Bolt
K2
later.
Javelineers. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely talking about lightning bolt later.
Oh, yeah.
He it was a fun time. So that's like kind of how I started, and then I like actually got into the game when like a year later after just playing with my brother, when I
Mm.
took all those cards to school, and my first game against somebody like in the cafeteria, like my freshman year of high school, was against Eldrazi, and I was like, these are fake cards. They don't look like my. They thought my cards were fake too because they're like old. Um, and I was like, these are fake cards. Like, what the fuck? This is a 10/10. I think someone put like literal Ulamog into play against me off of
Oh,
like a
shit.
Belp's portal or something. It was no, it was Quicksilver Amulet.
Oh.
And then to put like Ulamog into play. And I
Mm.
was like, what the heck is Annihilator? So and after that I was hooked. I was like, okay, I thought this game was cool, like and like had the old cards. The new cards are even cooler. So then
Mm.
basically my entire high school time became like getting money to get cards or doing other things to get cards. My uncle played a lot too, so he gave me all of his old cards.
Mm.
And in that pile was a Force of Will, amongst some other really cool things. And then I knew Force of Will was expensive. I didn't understand why it was good. I was just like, this is an expensive card. So I had a friend at the time who was like big into trading, and he set me up with a guy who was like trying to start an LGS. Shoutouts to Steve, who now does own an LGS, the Dragon's Lair. He's awesome. Store's awesome.
Cool.
Uh, get out if you're in Central Connecticut. But Steve was getting ready to like trying to build his collection for that. So we wanted to trade for my Force of Will, and he was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I want Commander bulk rares." This is like 2011, and the Commander decks had just come out. We've been playing Commander like for a couple months before they all came out, and they came out and the cards were awesome. Edric was busted, and we were like, "Okay, we got to get into this. This is sick." So I was trading for like a bunch of just random Commander bulk staples, and then Commander became popular, and all of those cards. I traded the Force of Will was like valued at like $85 when I traded it. I got an Emrakul in that trade, and I got a bunch of other random things. And then like a couple years later, all the stuff that I got became like $2 to $5 bulk rares. Instead, or it became like $2 to $5 like actual Commander rares, not like bulk rares, because I traded for like a couple hundred cards of just like bulk rares for
Oh
Commander.
wow,
Most of those,
perfect.
yeah, yeah, it was awesome. Most of those spiked, and the Emrakul became worth more than the Force of Will when I traded it. So I traded all of those again and got my collection. And that's why I'm kind of into the game is like that little sequence of events. And at the same time, most of my high school friend group was a bunch of people who were the younger siblings of like tournament grinders. So like it was mostly like older brothers and like other older siblings that have like gone off to college. So like these are like all the younger siblings people just gotten their asses kicked by tournament decks. So they had like hand me down tournament decks, and they were like out for blood because they're like I've just lost my whole life. So they were ruthless against me and a couple of the other like newer Magic players. So like that's the
Yeah,
environment I started with. So
that's
it's kind of
so
why I've
funny.
gravitated toward hyper competitive playing.
I have an older
It's
brother
fun.
that's played Magic for 30 years, and he kicked my
Yeah,
fucking ass.
yeah, that's how it goes. My first time playing against somebody, like my first practice partner, who it was Austin from my channel.
Mhm.
We got introduced by like one of our other friends who was like, "This is the other new Magic player you should play." And the deck that he had was literally just like Legacy Goblins. Someone had switched Legacy decks and like taken some of the money cards out and replaced them with bulk rares and handed him Legacy Goblins. I got annihilated. I had like a Thorn Fallet and I was dying. Um, so that's like how I started. So
Oh,
I
that's
kind of
sick.
got very aggressively like put into the game. I had to like I love the game, so I was like, oh, I have to be good. I have to be competitive to win. So I started playing Burn because that was easy. That's what people told me to play,
Right.
and then I
Yeah.
moved on from there. I found
I love Burn.
my uncle had like one
Spoiler.
of those like yeah, it's what Burn's awesome. My uncle had one of those like championship decks, and there's 4 metalworker in that. So I made a degenerate metalworker fireball deck.
Yeah.
And that was like
Holy
what I
shit.
started being like. Yeah, I was like able to finally beat some of my like I was going up against like Dragonstorm,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like a counterbalance deck and people like cheating Eldrazi into play. It was unfair stuff. So I was very excited to be like, oh, sick! Like I can like turn 3 kill someone with a mana dork, metal worker, and a fireball. Now we're gamers. Now we can play. And then
Fireball. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it kind of like went on from there.
Oh, that's so
It was
good.
cool. Yeah. So then like Commander came around, and we
Mhm.
were all like, I think we were all like kind of playing like we were trying to be as good as we could be with Commander. We weren't calling it CEDH because we weren't really playing CEDH at the time because we didn't really it wasn't a thing in 2012, which is when like we were really getting to this.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
what happened was in like late 2012, a bunch of like the older siblings of like a bunch of the people in our like Magic club in high school came to our school, and they brought a power cube. Like this is the first time I was like actually seen a mana drain. There were mocks in there, and we drafted the
Mm.
power cube. And I was like, oh my god, this is
The
awesome. This
good
is cool
stuff.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Mana Crypt, rest in
after
peace.
that, yeah, after that we played a commander game, and the deck that I was on, I had Niv Mizzet, Firemind at the time. That was my really good deck. I didn't know about Curiosity, didn't know that card existed. And I was just playing Niv Mizzet Storm, is what my deck was.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, yeah, and
The Mizzet's a good card.
it is a good card. We'll get
I
into
love
it.
that you keep. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Austin was playing Godo Stacks, which actually was a real CDH deck we found out at the time. Yeah, because you put Argentum armor on Godo and you kill everything. You play a bunch of stacks pieces. So that's what he was playing. He
Ew.
was doing the Argentum armor thing before he even knew that it was like
Mono
he didn't know
red
like he didn't
stacks.
have like yeah he didn't have like 3 ball in there, but he had like mana barbs and like other like less good stacks pieces. So all he had to do was swap some
Nice.
pieces. Yeah, and then the other deck in our group was Kevin on Carador, which was an actual CDH
The
deck at the
creature
time
deck.
too. Kevin
Yeah.
was playing basically an actual CDH deck because he was getting all the tech from his older brother, who was one of the people visiting. So then we played that pot of 3, and the 4th deck was this guy, our friend Dan, on Zur, and he killed us turn 4 with Necro. and we
Yep,
he
it does that.
yeah, he shimmer mirrored us, and we were like, "What the f is this? This is amazing."
Yeah.
Um, and then he went through our decks after that, and he was "Oh, like, have you like you're playing Niv Mizzet? Have you heard of Curiosity and Ophidian Eye?" And I was like, "No, what are
Your
those?"
one
And he showed
card
me those.
combos with your commander.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, this is real AF." So
The card's
I built
48
all into
cents.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the cards to search for them were so cheap. I could just
Hmm.
buy them outright. It was like $20, and I had like all the transmute stuff. It's like
Hmm.
Muddle was like 25-cent card. Dizzy
Hmm.
Spell has always
Hmm.
been like a 25-cent card. So I just got the whole package. It was such a cheap deck to get, and like I didn't have crypt and anything like that. We weren't actually proxying, but it was like pretty close. We
Hmm.
ended up playing like CDH kind of in high school, so we had like it was like 2013-ish when we had like Sharum and like that time I think that's when the Lookout Tandem Lookout came out, so my deck got even better. I think Austin had switched off of Godo stacks to the Rakdos spam creatures back and forth infinitely, kill everyone with Impact Tremors deck. That was a thing at the time.
Okay.
We were at this point we were net decking. We were going on like MTG Salvation and searching like really good commander decks up. Like someone had like built Drown New Lich Lord. We were starting to proxy cards.
Hmm.
It started out as like only cards we owned that we didn't want to put in multiple decks. Someone wanted to build Draw New, but they already had Shrooms. They're like, I'm just gonna proxy Draw New.
Cool.
Stuff like that. And then we just started full on proxying because it's fun.
Yeah, I started in 2020, so I
Yeah,
love old command CDH players. That back in
yeah,
my day, we couldn't
yeah.
net deck. Yeah, I love that.
No, we didn't know net decking was a thing for Commander. There was no
Yeah.
it. We knew it was a thing for Standard. I was playing local Standard, not
Mm.
doing well, but I was playing local Standard at the time, and like I net decked for that. And I was on like the mothership doing articles. There are no Commander articles really. There was like a few, and they were like silly casual Commander decks
Hmm.
that did
Hmm.
silly casual things. We were trying to be as good as we could be. So it was
Hmm.
it was kind of like a Wild West zone. And then when I got to college, that's when like the online CDH meta started to actually form around, and I started to kind of participate in that. And then, was it like 2019? Austin and I decided to start a YouTube channel. I've always done like content for fun. I've had like 3 other YouTube channels besides this one. And
Hmm.
usually I just kind of do them until I get bored with it and then do some other thing. I've had blogs, I've had Reddit accounts based on like content posting. I've had other kind of stuff like that. I've had like an Imager meme making account where I just enjoy making content. It's a fun little hobby. Um,
Yeah.
so Austin and I decided we're gonna make a channel together. So we started doing that, and we got ready to. The idea was to go to local game stores and like play Friday Night Magic or Commander Night or whatever we wanted at the game store.
And vlog it.
Interview like
Yeah.
employees or the owner, vlog it, yeah, exactly, and do
Cool.
that. Then the pandemic happened. So then we were like, we got all the equipment, we were like ready to go, and then
Now what?
we had a date scheduled to record some like gameplay, and then it was the pandemic, so we couldn't. So we ended up becoming a deck tech channel while we waited for the pandemic to happen, and that just kind of kept rolling. We've always done because we were like mostly focused on playing competitive commander for casual. We've just never really taken it seriously, and we've always done
Hmm.
like jokes and other silly things in casual. So that's kind of how like brewing weird things kind of started for me with like learning how to like look things up on Scryfall that were niche. Like one of the first like super weird decks that I built that I was like really like good with like I still have it actually. It's just switched commanders throughout the years. Was mono green control with Pelucranos. Um, you give him indestructible and you give him death touch, and then you board wipe, and then you have a conjurer's closet or some other thing that blinks him every turn,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you board wipe every single turn with
It's like a soft
Pelucranos.
lock.
And yeah, yeah, you just play mono green control, and
Ugh.
that became Freyalise because that was everyone's reaction to when I did that. They're like, stop doing that. I was like, okay, so I switched to Freyalise,
Hmm.
and then Freyalise became Yeva, and then that one people hated too. So
Yeah.
I tabled the deck for a little bit. I like it was like my all right. We're playing mean decks. Sick. I'll play Yeva. And then that became Arasta when she got printed, and I still have that one today. Mono green full Arasta because green
Cool.
can't mess with instants and sorceries, but what green can do is put a Thorn Mammoth into play and say if you
Oof.
cast an instant or sorcery, I'll make a 1/2 spider, and Thorn Mammoth will fight your commander.
Mm.
Silly things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Gross.
we've enjoyed like building like silly cat when we do build casual decks, they're usually obnoxious and silly. Like I
Yeah.
built
Your
like
bear
Jeskai
deck.
Elf Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, bears. I was like, I love grizzly bears. I'm gonna try and make the strongest possible deck that includes all the 2/2 vanilla bears. Um, it's fun to do silly things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We did. I think my favorite one we've ever done was this is we brought Kevin onto the channel like after like Austin and I realized we were not organized or rational most of the time. We're too high energy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Kevin's very
You could,
reasonable, and
yeah.
he he does things like look at our deck and be like, "This is great, but you're not running any removal." And we're like, "Oh yeah, I knew we forgot
You're not
something."
any lands,
Um,
and you're like, oh yeah, I don't need lands.
yeah, yeah, literally like he's like, "Why are you running blood? Like, why are you running a windswept heath in a Rakdos deck?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, I just hit add fetch lands. My bad." Stuff like that. Yeah,
Whoops.
he came on, and the three of us, like the one that I really liked that we did, we partnered on the project for like make a deck for the prismatic piper, but we wanted it to be the correct choice was to have the piper in the command zone. The deck was doing something that you could only do with the prismatic piper because the prismatic piper is the only card that can be a colorless card that has a color identity.
Mm.
So, and that can be in your command zone.
Right.
So we were like, there's got to be something you can do with this. So we like put our heads together, and I came up with the idea of just spamming cost reducers and then playing a storm combo because that's something I would think of. Austin made a deck, and then I made a more refined version of the deck with the clones, and we like went all in on that. And then Kevin edited it and made it actually a functional deck. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a prismatic piper storm deck that puts a bunch that it's blue white, puts a bunch of white cost reducers into play to reduce your white spells, and then plays Stormfront Riders and spams those back and forth with your commander to make
Mm.
infinite tokens and a
Sweet.
bunch of whatever else you get from whatever outlets you have. And that's like we call it Pipers in the Storm, and like we do like silly decks like that for casual. So that's kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah. But
my
that's kind of
history as
why.
a
No, I love that. That's kind of what I wanted to get with you on is like these crazy, quirky ideas. You know, you can like postban, you can make a commander that you really love into CDH because you had this crazy idea. Like, what's that one deck that you played where you play from the bottom? I forgot her name.
River Song. That
Yeah,
deck's good. I still play that
right.
deck. I have 2 decks assembled right now. There's Stella Lee, which I have like right here,
Stelly's really
and
good.
pretty
I
card.
saw Stelly
And
in the boil. It's cooking. It's the best it's ever been.
yeah, yeah, it really is.
But
This is the era for Stella Lee, but the same for
for
River
sure.
Song. River Song was a dockside deck.
Right.
I thought River Song was
Right.
dead, but I like kind of rebuilt it anyway, just because I was like, maybe it'll be my high power deck. No, it's not dead. Everyone else
Yeah.
is slower. This
But
is like
nobody
I don't know. I
touches
was
it because
talking
the under
earlier.
thing, right?
Yeah,
But it's really good.
it's cool. You can use a bunch of cards that put stuff from your graveyard in the bottom of your
Mm-hmm.
library to
Mm-hmm.
do combos with like Lion's Eye Diamond and other things. Just kind
Mm-hmm.
of like it's an Is It Underworld Breach control deck, but
Mm-hmm.
it has like 4 copies of Brain Freeze and 3 copies of Underworld Breach.
Mm.
And that's kind of how I describe it to people.
Yeah.
Because with River Song and the thing that puts something on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
most of them also have ways to draw a card, and like a Lion's Eye Diamond or a Lotus Petal, you're
Yeah.
basically in
Chromatic
like a grinding
stars, right?
station or something like yeah, not Chromatic Star, but like
What was that
other similar
artifact?
things.
I don't remember the name of that
Yeah,
artifact.
be like
Sack it, put in the bottom.
yeah. There's Transplant Theorist, which is put something on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and then when an artifact enters, you draw a discard. That's kind of like a Brain Freeze Underworld Breach combo package with like Lion's Eye Diamond, or not Lion's Eye
Mm.
Diamond, but like Lotus Petal and other things. You can just spend a bunch of mana to go through your whole deck, find
Mm-hmm.
something actually good, put it in, draw it, and play it. And there's a bunch of other similar things like that that you can do with it. So
Yeah.
it's good. Like I think we're kind of back on a Wild West meta. I don't think we're gonna stay this way forever. I think there's um there's not a lot of pressure on CEDH right now as a format. Like the Boil was top deck's last event. They're saying, and I don't think we're gonna get another national CEDH circuit anytime soon because that's
Mm-hmm.
expensive and
Mm-hmm.
that's very difficult to run. No
Yeah.
one really has the resources to do it
Well,
right now.
there's a few people after going to the event and talking to people, and I've talked to Zane, and there's
Yeah,
a few people I talked to. There's people cooking for sure, but I definitely think we're going backwards for sure, like
yeah,
100%.
we're not.
The fishbowl in California hires running, and that's gonna be over a 10K. Like that's not stopping, right? The Royal Rumble's gonna be over a 10K. Like,
Yeah,
but
but
we're
those are
definitely
all like
going. Yeah.
yeah, those are all like locals. There's no like circuit. Like because of
Right.
that, there's not a lot of pressure on the format. So
Right.
there's not
Right.
a lot of we're not gonna figure out which deck's the best deck for a while, I think. think it's gonna be like we got some time to play with the space. I think.
No, for sure.
And
yeah.
And I think also because of that, like also because everyone's like, I don't know if the format actually is slower. Like it definitely feels slower, but
100%.
like I don't maybe that's not correct to say. I don't know if the format is as slow as people think it is.
Correct.
Or
Yep.
it's definitely slower, but it's not. I don't think it's like quite as crazy as people think it is, but I think everyone is kind of over adjusted a little bit for
you're
the perception of where the format's going to be.
Yeah, I just did a podcast with the winner. And, you know, before you had to give somebody an excuse not to play red. Like, why aren't you in red? There's Dockside Breach. Like, that's crazy you're not in red. Now, you don't need red. So, inherently, now it is a tad slower. But I agree with you. Like, Tim Thrasios is winning turn 3, turn 4 still. Thorkel's still there, right? Like, the decks of Rockside still a top 5, top 10 deck for sure. But I agree with you. It's gotten slower, but not like, oh my God, this whole... But the best thing with this meta, after being in the boil and talking to everybody, I've talked to Freedom Waffle, I talked to the winner, we're all like, hey, look at the top 16. There's 3 TNTs, so TNT's the new blue farm, right? Kennen was on the play in the finals pod. He went 6-0 in like a draw. Is his game to win if Mag didn't hit him with the Seed Smash, right? Like, so it's Kennen TNT's like their own tier. But other than that, like, this is the most fun this meta's been in 3 years, because Blue Farm has had this meta by the balls. It has been the best deck by far for 3 years. Now no one can say, like, yeah, Kennen and TNTs are really, really good, but no one can say, hey, if you don't play Kennen, that's wrong. No, because all the other decks, there's 2 Azikas in the top 16. There was a Rogside. There was a Rakdos. There is this crazy shit. Yeah. And it's just like, just looking at it, you know, you can't just judge it off of, oh, look at these guys at top 16. I was at that tournament. Marnius is very relevant. Tyam was doing a lot of work in the pods I was in. I was on Malcolm Temna, and I felt unstoppable. I was just in Esper, and I couldn't get over that hump, right? Esper doesn't like to win. Esper just likes to draw cards. But there's a lot of decks like that, I think I hate the bans that happened, right? I hate it. I love Dockside and Mana Crypt, but now that is probably the best thing that's happened in this format since like the partners, since the Breach in the Thoracle, right? But going forward, you're 100% right. We're about to take this Fringe deck that no one's really built, and we're about to make it a CDH deck. And before it'd be like, man, don't take that 6 mana random commander to a tournament. Now we can, like, I feel like we can take anything we want to. I feel like this is your time to shine. River Song can shine. Stella Lee's the best it's ever been, right? So I lost, oh my God, I lost to a Stella Lee preparing for the tournament. Again, he was going against a Vexing Ball, right? So he goes, all right, untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, I'm going to cast a spell, the Wicked Roll one. I'm a whole priority, cast Fierce Guardianship, target my spell. That spell gets countered. Okay. Stella Lee trigger. Okay, I'm going to whole priority, Force of Will. That gets countered. Do I win with Stella Lee? And we're just like,
yep.
What? Like, holy shit.
That's my favorite thing to do with that deck.
Yeah. No, the deck
sequencing is so fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fun.
100%. 100%. I try to get people, hey, can you pass priority with the Stella Lee trigger on this deck? I want to do something. And they're like, no, I'm not going to pass priority. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's crazy. The thing I'm kind of like known for nowadays is like building a deck, taking it to a tournament, and then kind of doing well. So like, I feel like it's just going to be more of that in the future for more people. It's going to be, Braun Shabraz. I did that with River Song. I built that deck and then top forward. Xyrus, I built the morning before the tournament. I
built that deck. Yeah, we were talking about that deck.
I that deck is super back.
Yeah, I watched
that deck was kind of bad.
Yeah. I watched the Toulouse video. That is freaking cool. Because half the time people are like, what are you doing, Josh? You just got this jank ass shit. And then you win. And they're like, oh, okay.
I'm still coping about the tournament. I died to my own console in round 1, going for the win. It was in my top. The card I wanted was in my top 6. And then I misplayed horrendously and killed myself in another round. Yeah. And I could have been live, but I'm a dummy, so I'm still sad about that. Okay, the luck thing is whatever. That's bad luck. That's a 1 in 30 something.
Yeah, that's why I hate console. I hate when console's
Yeah.
my only piece of interaction and the guy's winning, and I'm just like, part of me doesn't want to cast this, but the other part of me knows I have to cast this, and then I just lose anyways.
You know, what happened is like I went. This is not in the vlog. I wasn't recording the time. Like I went out and I was like real upset about it. Talked to like one of my practice partners, and I was like, yeah, died to my own console, going for like the win. I had like top in my hand or whatever I had, and like a Citadel. No, I had Vamp Tutor in my hand and a Citadel that I was gonna be able to cast all of that stuff into and just go for it.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, at least you were going for the win. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, sometimes that happens. Just get unlucky.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than the games you don't do anything.
Yeah, I actually like to lose a lot too. I think that deck is also back because I was never.
You
gone,
like to
'cause
lose a lot? Me too.
Yeah, I during the tournament. Every time someone made that joke, I just like made eye contact with them and put a tally mark on a token.
Don't say anything, just straight face.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, you know why I'm putting Italian marks because everyone makes this joke. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It only happened like twice though.
Yeah, I would instantly said it. Are you playing to lose?
You have a really easy way to win with Doomsday. You play to lose. She has 3 blue devotion. Your Doomsday pile is Thoracle, 4 random cards. You draw your Thoracle with Toulouse's ETB. Play Thoracle, devotion's 5. You got it.
Really, that easy?
Super simple.
I love it.
It's super simple.
Yeah,
you don't need to run Gush in your deck or any of that stuff.
Right. I hate Doomsday because like Doomsday piles are weird, but like I'm on Glarb, and Glarb's just Gush, Thoracle, win. But you have to play Gush, and that card's fucking trash.
Yeah, that card is. Yeah, that's why I like to lose. There's no dead cards in the deck. Like you don't have to play any cards that are specific to your commander. Your commander just does shit. Like you have Necro when Born Upon the Wind, which is already a great win con. And then if you don't have Born Upon the Wind or another outlet, you can play your commander in Necro, and then you just get all the cards into your commander, and then you can sacrifice your commander with some random spell at some point and get them all back. And it's just sweet. It just kind of makes good cards better, which I think is what you need with a commander that's going to be well, there's 2 things you need for like a good commander. You want to have cast ability, and then you want to be able to like either you want to be able to win somehow with the commander or make good cards better. Like Rogsai makes good cards better. Toulouse make good cards better. Brawl and Shabraz, Malcolm, as just in general, is a win somehow commander. We're about to build Niv Mizzet. That's going to be a win somehow commander.
Yeah.
The commander playing, you're going to try and win probably in the same turn or the next turn.
Right, exactly. Before we get into that, one more thing. So, I don't know your personal situation, but I feel like this post ban is yours, right? For people like you, I feel like it's a brewer's advantage. A crazy deck can win. So, do you plan on, like, for your fans, do you plan on doing tournaments in the future, or is that like way in the future? Do you plan on brewing anything crazy? Like, what's
probably not for a bit. Okay. I'm still kind of getting back on my feet after having a crazy summer. Derogatory, negative, bad, crazy. But I'm still kind of getting back on my feet. So at this point, I'm like practicing with people like locally who are practicing for tournaments, and I'm helping them practice. I'm on my Discord, LFG, when people are LFG there. Or when people like hit me up and be like, yo, I'm practicing for a thing. I'm down to like help people practice. But I'm not so much trying to enter myself. I mean, for our channel, we'll probably get back to doing something eventually. It'll be a different kind of content that we've done before. We're thinking of going back to what I was talking about. What we originally wanted the channel to be is local content vlogs.
Yeah, I love your vlogs.
So we're thinking about going back to doing that, just going to locals and interviewing local players, doing that kind of stuff, showcasing like our community. We're thinking about have you seen our 0 to 100 video that we've done? It was this the premise was we take somebody who's never played Magic before, and we in the course of one day teach them how to play Cedh, and then have them play against actual like tournament grinders. And if they win a game, they get like a prize.
In one day.
Have to win one game. Yeah, in one day. So I have my friend Jason on, who's never played Magic before, and he learned how to play. He played Najila. He learned how to play. He ended up going against like a bunch of like people who were like, I think, who's there that's like still around. Dang, a lot of those people have left the scene now. But a bunch of like notable players at the time. This is like in 2021. And did okay. He actually made a couple attempted wins, which was pretty sick. but
Yeah.
he did not end up getting there, and
Mm.
he had to his punishment was he had to drink a jar of spaghetti sauce. He got to decide what the punishment was, and he said, quote, "I want to do some iCarly shit," unquote. So that's what he went with. But if he had won a game, I would have had to do that.
Okay,
So
I got you.
yeah. So it was very fun. Highly recommend watching the series. It's like an hour and a half, a little bit less than that for all three of the videos.
Yeah,
And kind of
cool.
just teach stuff. It's very fun. We're thinking about bringing something like that back
Yeah, I'm gonna put
because
your
like
channel
that's
down below, so I hope people check it out. Yeah,
yeah
I
yeah.
love the tournament vlogs. I'm big into CDH, but I'll definitely check that out. That
Those
is
are my
so cool.
favorite. Yeah, the
Yeah,
tournament vlogs are my favorite.
yeah,
They're
because
kind
you
of
go ahead.
yeah. I have a little secret about the tournament vlogs. This is
Oh,
something I haven't actually said in content before, but the tournament vlogs are kind of just for me.
yep.
They're
Same
so
with the
like
podcast. Yep,
yeah, they're
me
just
too.
like a little memory of like the events that I go to, so I can remember like all my
Yeah,
friends, like things I do, and kind of I do like a little bit of content stuff for it, but like
yeah.
mostly it's just for me. And I've done like I've
Hmm.
like I don't know. I've really enjoyed that, and I think that's a good recommendation for anybody who's getting into
Yeah.
content. Anyways, don't make it for other people; make
Make it
it
for
for
you.
you.
Yeah, that's why I did the podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm tired of talking to this to my friends over text. I'm gonna make a fucking podcast
Mhm.
over it. Like I
Mhm.
can talk to Ian's, I can talk to the Joshes, I can get everyone's idea because everyone's like, oh, what are we gonna do about postband? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Ian and I about it. Like I'm actually
And start
putting
the
the work,
discussion.
but it's for me.
Yeah.
I want to learn this, right? And then
Mhm.
if you like
Mhm.
it, you like it. I agree with you. What I like about your vlogs is you kind of humanize it in a way like a person, but like I've been tournament grinding the last year, but before that you make it like I want to go to that tournament. Like it's not just all the the salty players. I put spells on stack. We can't have fun. Like you made it where hey, I'm in a tournament and I just punted, but I play again, and then I just killed somebody with my big ass shark. Like you made it fun, and you made it. Hey, this is what's going on. You just
Yep.
make it relatable, and a lot of people are like I'm not going to the tournaments. Everyone's sweaty and mean and blah, blah, blah. It's like it's not even that at all. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Like the day
Yeah.
one, my brother his last pod. There's three of them. They went to dinner with us, and we hung out at a random restaurant for 2 hours and talked about Magic, and then took them back to the B&B and played Magic all night with these three random strangers from like California, and we had a great time.
Mhm.
Like that's what tournaments are
Most part
about.
tournaments. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
the first one when I went to Copenhagen, it started off as a travel vlog. Like a lot of a good percentage of the videos, like me getting on the plane, me like giving opinions on Copenhagen and all this other stuff. But then like as it got as I did more and more, I realized like the cool thing about the vlogs is like it's the in between parts of the tournament. Like no everyone focuses on the games. But what's the most important part of the tournament for like players and most other people is like what happens surrounding the games, and there's basically no content about that. So
Right.
I think
Yeah,
it's really
we
cool.
just see it like the boil. We just see top 16. You don't know what
Yeah,
happened. You don't know the drama. You don't know
yeah,
if the judges were this, if we're that, if the
hmm
place was hot, cold, medium, if people were
yeah,
fighting. Yeah, you kind of brought
and
that
like
everybody together.
having that player mindset in between rounds, like cataloging like thoughts of like the games or to asking other people about their thoughts about their games is also like I think important to record too because you don't remember that stuff, especially
Yeah.
if you get really far in the tournament. Your brain is mush and you can't remember what you were saying about your game in round two.
Right.
So
Right.
it's really good to like kind of like capture that and like you're saying like humanize the grinder experience. Be like, oh
Hmm.
look, you could see in the beginning of the vlog and on like round one, day one, Josh looks like super like energetic. He's ready to go, and by round five, you can hear his voice is a
Yeah.
little sandpapery. He
Yeah.
looks
I
exhausted.
saw that on the
He's
final
talking about
stream.
wanting food.
The final
Yeah,
stream, they're like, why did he make that misplay? I'm like, gee, I don't know. He's been playing 10 hours, 10 straight hours and hadn't had any food. Like, that is a
yeah,
thing. Like, there's a panda across the street. So we had like 20 minutes left in the round. And we're like, all right, let's hope that it goes to round. Let's run and haul ass to panda. And that's what we did. And that
yeah.
was the fun of it, you know?
I want to see more of that for tournament coverage. Like this is
Hmm.
something that like I think kind of the absence of a circuit is in its way an opportunity for tournament coverage to level up as the tournament scene kind of gets back on its feet because
Hmm.
it's way easier to do like to experiment and do unique things with coverage in smaller like I if I went to Top Deck and I was like here's my idea for running tournament coverage in a completely different way. They're going to say, no, the way we're doing it works, and we're a business trying to make money. Even though I know they lose money on all their tournaments, they have command tower and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's And then so it's a thing. But like in a small tournament, I can be that doesn't may not even have coverage. If I'm like, hey, I want to do coverage for your tournament, here's how I want to do it. They're like, I don't care how you do it. You're doing coverage for a tournament that didn't otherwise have coverage. Do whatever you want. That's like I've gotten the go ahead from stores for stuff like that before. I'm like, can I record your store? Like, hell yeah, whatever you want to do. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
better than no recording. We love that. Just plug the following things for us, please. Thank you.
yeah,
Also, don't do this or say this. Thank you.
yeah.
So it's like
I
it's
just
super
learned
easy.
that they you know where they make their money is the playmats. They
Yes.
said we cut
Yep.
even on all the tables, the chairs, the everything else, but he was like, we
Mhm.
sold every single playmat because normally if you sell half the playmats or a quarter of the playmats, now you're stuck with playmats and you lost money. But they sold
Mhm.
out, and he was like, we actually made money on this event, and I was like, oh, I didn't know, the money was in the playmats.
Yeah, yeah. No, running a tournament sucks. I haven't run a Magic tournament conventionally before, but
Mm,
in the past I've run various fighting game tournaments. I've done TOing for martial arts tournaments.
mm.
I used to be a big martial arts competitor. I've actually I've won a martial arts world championship before.
How cool is
So
that? That's awesome,
yeah, yeah.
dude.
I have an ESPN highlight reel and stuff. It's
No way.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna put the
Um
video right here. We're gonna Josh knocking some heads off.
um, yeah, that was like my competitor grind before
That's
Magic
so
was
cool.
martial arts.
Melons, but it was Josh LeBlanc showing both speed and power. And he takes home the title of world champion.
Like I've done tournaments for that, and like
Mhm.
TOing sucks. You don't. It's exhausting, and you really don't make money. It's all in because the venues are expensive. They're extremely
Right,
expensive, and
right.
then you also catch a bunch of fees usually.
Mm, mm.
There's a whole bunch of other logistical issues that go into it. You have to pay your staff. You have to make sure your staff is fed. That's an on online match tournaments. That's not really a thing.
Mhm.
And like in-person tournaments, that's a huge cost that people don't think of is like, where are you getting food from? If you don't make a plan to get food for your tournament for your staff, then you're gonna have to spend a lot of extra money out of pocket to feed
Mm.
them last minute.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't know you had to feed him.
Yeah, like yeah, you're gonna be there for like 12 hours. You got to feed them 3 meals. That's
Oh
the
shit!
thing.
I didn't know that.
You can't tell your judges like yeah fend for yourself while you're working with no breaks because you don't really tournament staff doesn't really get breaks. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. There's a lot of like things people don't think of. Running tournaments is very hard.
Mhm.
So I think while people are trying to get back up on their feet, there's a lot of opportunity for people to like promote smaller tournaments.
Yeah, for
I want to see
sure.
like tournament coverage that interviews people in between rounds, like kind of like reality TV
Yeah,
style.
let's do
Like
it.
ESPN used to do those like tournament documentaries
Mhm.
where they go to like small time tournaments and they like follow like fishing tournaments, skateboarding tournaments, things like that,
Mhm.
and they like pick like 2 to 3 like players and they follow their like journey through the tournament and then they like have a tournament overview, but it's like focused on players. Like I want to see
Mhm.
tournament coverage like that, like official tournament streams where like here's some favorites for the tournament, and like if they don't do well, we'll switch players to a
Fuck
different
yeah,
person.
man! Let's
Like
do
I want
it.
to
You might be
I
onto
want to see
something
like tournament
there.
coverage that requires like a director, like multiple cameras, like that kind of stuff. But like that's we're a long way off from tournaments making that kind of content worthwhile
Right.
because we're a long
Right.
way off from making tournaments worthwhile. But
Yeah.
if people want to do that stuff for fun, I think
Well,
that'd be
we need to
the
start
way
with
to go.
us. We need to start with the content
Mm-hmm.
creators. We need to
Mm-hmm.
make that a thing. Not you're not the only person to do that. And I'm down with that idea. Just for me at the boil, it was like I try to take it way too serious, so I didn't want to like, oh, let me do this content and let me do this B-roll and then let me talk to these people. Like I was like locked in. But like for a
Mm.
smaller tournament, I go to a place called Sky High 2 hours away from my house and it's about 40 people and I could do that. I
Yeah.
know the owner, I know the judge, they're good friends of mine. I can actually do that, and I'll probably just do it where I'm not even in the tournament. Or I can be like, hey man, well, how'd you win? How'd you lose? Instead of us just yapping, I can put that on camera. Oh, I
Yeah.
lost because of this guy. I lost because of that guy. Okay, good luck next round. Okay, next round, what happened? What da da da? And then you could do a lot of. I totally agree. And then before we last thing, I did want to shout out your tea party. I was the one that played
Mm.
Gyruda in it, and I got fifth. I almost
Yeah,
got fourth.
you are.
It was so much fun, and I can't wait if you guys ever bring it back. Like for me, no one like said it, but for me, I feel like the pregame rule was like bring a French deck. Don't bring Blue Farm. I saw the
Yeah.
spiciest shit ever, and I was fucking popping with Gyruda, and that shit was
Yeah.
so much fun. And I hope one day you bring it back.
Yeah, we're gonna be bringing it back probably in person locally is the
Cool.
plan.
Okay.
That's what we want to start working towards.
Yeah.
We might do like a few things online, but we want to go back to originally doing things locally. So it'll be a thing in some capacity.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. No worries. So
Well,
let's get into it, man. Let's get
heck yeah.
the brains. The brains. So we're gonna build what is it? Niv Mizzet, the Visionary, the new Niv Mizzet. The set comes out tomorrow officially. And Josh is really good at Izzet stuff, so I'm gonna let him take the lead. I'm gonna throw some ideas out there. And we're gonna build this shit.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Visionary.
So
yep.
yeah, this guy. There's 7 Niv Mizzets now, which I did not realize. So Niv Mizzet Visionary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on, I gotta change my Mox field. Oh, no, I think it's fine. All right, yeah. So Niv Mizzet Visionary, 5/5s for 6 mana, flying. Mm-hmm. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards. I'm actually really sad he says you have no maximum hand size. They knew what they were doing. It means you can't win with like Glinthorn Buccaneer step, which is very sad.
Yeah, yeah. I was first like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then I was like, wait, there's 4 different things I thought of, and I was like, ah, damn it, I hate when Wizards gets it right. That's definitely the correct thing to do.
How dare they balance my Niv Mizzet? Yeah, I do like that he goes infinite with the other Niv Mizzets, which is pretty good. I'm not sure what direction you wanted to take this deck, but I was thinking like because he's a commander that just has a couple 1-card combos in the command zone, I kind of want to like try to build it towards like the original. Like if you ever played like the Visit Firemind, the idea behind that deck is you're playing like kind of a slow roll control-y deck with a little bit of bursty fast mana, but you're mostly trying to just chill and put like value stuff into play while like doing like typical control stuff, and then all of a sudden, bam! Like you slam Niv Mizzet with a Curiosity or tutor for Curiosity, and
100%.
Go win from there. Whereas, like I think the Niv Mizzet decks, like recently for pre-ban, have been all about just bursting Niv Mizzet out and being parasitic. I think moving away from that and doing like a more like slow roll value thing.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not really relying on your commander at all until you're ready to win is kind of a good way to go.
I feel like if we untap with this commander, we're winning the game. Or if this commander lands and we have some extra mana, we should be winning the game. Like Lightning Bolt, draw 3 cards. I saw this deck in a Malcolm Kedis deck, and it just took over the fucking game. Like it wasn't even close because he had so much mana because all the treasures for Malcolm. He cast it, hard cast it. It resolved. He had like 4 extra mana, and he almost won the game. But it was just like holy shit, because you look at it. I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, that's casual. And then I'm like, wait a minute, because we don't have Jewel Lotus in Mana Crypt, right? It got worse. But now I agree with you. Like the Perun is really good before the ban because it was like, let me get my Jewel Lotus, let me get my Dockside. I cast Niv, I'm winning. Right. But so I feel like since we are 6 mana, it is easier to cast, but I agree with you. I definitely want to play with my commander for sure, but there's going to be games where we're going to win without the commander because we aren't Izzet, right?
Yeah. You'll be doing like Underworld Breach things a lot of the time too.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of the other things that this deck does really well is you'll be able to use a bunch of things that are kind of good already on their own to make your commander better. Like you were mentioning Lightning Bolt. There's a lot of other things that are pretty decent that deal damage to your opponent that you can utilize for non-combat stuff that are like the other Niv Mizzet. I don't know if we want to run Perun in this deck because it's hard to cast.
I would run the other ones because they're easier, but
Firemind.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But before we start cooking with it, I did want to tell the people what we talked about before we recorded is we're going to flirt with the line of we're going to play a lot of synergistic bad cards with our commander, but also because our commander's busted, obviously. Once we get a land, that fucking ability is crazy. But we don't want to run a lot of bad cards and just sit with the 1 mana deal damage to each of my opponent. Yeah, that's 1 mana draw 9 if our commander's out, or our commander got swords and we do nothing. So we're going to flirt with that line of good cards control bad cards, because once we get him out, it's just going to be all gas. So I totally agree with you. We got to be control. We got to be Izzet control. But I do want to use the ability. I do want to play him. I don't want to be weird. Like, I don't want it to be a Tivit or a Traxa deck where we cast them like later. We never no. There's going to be games where we're like, oh, we got a turn 2 or we got a turn 3. This is cool. Right. So we're definitely going to play like the bolts and stuff. But I just think Izzet by itself isn't a good show. and then we can go from there and figure out how much. So I built it on arena, and there's a lot of deal non-combat damage stuff, like there's Torbran and there's the gutter snipes, but I don't know how much of that we're gonna play, right? So that's what we're gonna flirt with.
I think there's a lot of it we'll find that's good on its own that we'll end up playing. I don't know if we'll play a bunch of stuff that's only good with our commander, because I don't think the card quality is quite good enough to support that.
Right.
But I think we'll be playing a lot of damage stuff that we would be playing in other decks anyway.
Right, like a lightning bolt.
Exactly.
Lightning bolt. Yeah, the ceiling is 1 mana, draw 3.
Fireball.
Yeah, exactly.
That went in before we forget it exists, because that's the card that I always forget.
Yeah, I took some notes. I didn't look at any lists, but I took some notes of a couple cards that I would have never thought of.
Heck yeah. Earthquake is probably, or Rolling Earthquake is probably another one.
And all the Niv Mizzet cards, the Firebrand Archer, the new Lizard Guy, Kessig Flame Breather, all those I think will be really good because they're generically like the one when someone draws a card, deal damage to them. Like that's all this format wants to do.
The draw card one I agree about. I don't know if we want to run like the Flame Breather and stuff that goes off of us casting spells, because I don't know, that requires us having like a lot of mana to then draw more cards after casting our commander, where then we're not going to be able to leverage the cards we drew that turn. I think we need to play like more instant, like something like the DBF or Earthquake. They're things that we're going to cast without our commander in play, especially because like everyone's on Dorks and Bowmasters to kill the Dorks. These are cards that stop those.
I got you.
Yeah, they're good after our commander's down because we can like use
that's
them to
amazing.
draw cards, but then but then they're good before our commander's down because they slow our opponents down and give us time to buy.
So you want to play, I got you. So you want to like play the Izzet staples and all the cards that are good without our commander, but are busted with our commander. Like getting our commander is the nuts because it's 6 mana.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. So we're not going to play like the gutter snipes or the new otter. We're not going to play the whenever you cast an non-creature spell, deal 1 damage to target, because like you don't need to, because our commander's 6 mana and we're going to pass. We're probably not going to have mana. So you're saying is no, I want to play all these decent cards, control the board, slam my commander, win.
Exactly.
All right, let's do that.
Just basically, if we can nut draw into the mana for a commander, then we have a Rolling Earthquake that draws us 15 cards on our next turn, and that's awesome, and we'll probably win. But if we don't, then we have a Rolling Earthquake that kills all of our opponent's creatures, and then we untap and cast our commander, and they have to break, and we bought ourselves like 2 turns.
Well,
either way, I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people are building this deck because they're not coming in reality. They're like, oh no, this is really good with my commander. It's like, no, exactly what you said. Every single card is going to do something without my commander, and then if the Christmas tree land that no one has a swords for my commander, it's going to be unstoppable. But we're not in casual, right? We don't care about that. We care about winning.
Yeah, I think especially if this deck does end up being good, like people are going to swords your commander, and they're going to save the swords for your commander. So you might as well play win without your commander. And
I agree.
Go off.
Yeah, I want you to take the reins. I totally agree with you, 100%.
Yeah. So I think the first thing to do is just to add all the CEDH staples so we don't forget ramp.
My only thing, can you do the actual view of the card instead of the text? I
always have it set in this one because I use it for quickly going through. We want visual.
Yeah, well, it's fine now. I'm just saying, like later when we're trying to like cut cards, I like to see them.
No, it's easier to brew with too. I'm gonna change the art of this card so it's recreatable.
Delayed Blast Fireball is really good. Yeah, and I was thinking of Fierce Guard Deflecting Spot. I don't think we play that in this deck.
No, I don't think we do either. Because I don't think we do because like we don't really want our commander out all the time. Yeah,
but we don't want instants that don't do anything until our commander, right? That's Oh, you have an add staple thing. Okay.
Oxide is still in the staples. They're taunting us. I don't even think we want. Actually, that could be like a. No, I don't think we want the duplicate because it doesn't.
I was thinking a molten dualcaster and breach would be our backup win cons.
Yeah,
but we can talk about the dualcaster.
You want Bergie?
I think we do want Bergie, but I don't know. But is our deck going ritual? Like I was thinking of running Jeska's Will because we can go Jeska's Will for 6, add a blue our commander. right?
Yeah, 100% Jessica's will.
But like Bergie is one of those cards where if we're storming off, cast our commander, then we can keep storming off. But it's probably a dead card most of the time, right?
I'm thinking of it for the horn side, because we're already trying to make a bunch of mana, so
Okay.
it might be decent to use the horn. But
Okay.
I don't know. We don't have. I'll put it in considering because we don't have a ton of fast mana. We don't have like a ton of ways to go off with the horn. We're not like drawing tons of cards outside of our commander.
Yeah, our commander doesn't draw cards, you know, or it's not cheaper. It's not a Timna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know you had a
Just
staple
for
thing. This
sure.
works. Oh, Wheel of Misfortune in this deck. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't even think about that.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't run any
ridiculously
wheel
correct.
except that one. That fucking
That's
wheel is
gotta
like,
say.
come at me, bro. You want a wheel too with me? Come on, with our
Yeah,
commander.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think we gotta cut the other wheels. I'm gonna keep Twister because I think Twister's good to have just as like a graveyard hate card too in
Okay.
these colors. But
Well, in a breach deck, I like Wheel of Fortune over that, but we're on Wheel of Misfortune, so I can agree with you.
yeah, the other thing we can do is we can add both the wheels and then stick in like Narset, which wouldn't be the worst.
Okay, I got you.
We'll see. We'll see if we can afford the package. We'll keep it.
Wheel of Misfortune though is fucking hot because I literally hate that
sick.
card. But that in this deck, it's fucking
Brainstorm.
crazy.
Chain of Vapor. Yeah, I was like, maybe we don't want to run this because people will hit our commander, but also we're not gonna have our commander out.
Yeah, if we have commander out, we're drawing 10 cards, and we're not worried about Chain of Vapor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we
I don't
run
think we need
Miscast.
that.
I don't think we're that control-y. Yeah, I don't think we run
Yeah,
Spell
you're right.
Pierce.
No, we're not. trying
Mana
to do-
Drain's hot. Okay, I'm
Mana
down
Drain
with the
is
Mana
hot.
Drain.
That's 4 colorless mana for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely don't want Spell Pierce. Born Upon the Wind seems good. Rain Freeze. we
Valley
want Rift
Floodcaller
for
seems
sure.
good in this deck too.
Yes, 100%. Final Fortune. We should probably have Final Fortune.
Okay.
I think it's good with like I need to win after I cast my commander deck because if you have like the extra mana to commander Final Fortune, you can usually win off of that, or you can like ramp up Final Fortune then cast your.
And that could be one of the cards that because I'm gonna sleeve this up when we're done. I could be one of the cards that we're testing, and I'm fine with that. I'm like, hey man, it feels good, it feels bad, yeah. I don't think we're on Intuition.
I don't know if we even want Snap. I guess it can be used for mana ramp with some stuff too. We'll put it in considering. Intuition we probably want. So I'm sure we'll have 3 cards that win the game with our commander we can find.
Yeah, but is Curiosity a win with the commander?
No, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we have Intuition piles. Do we?
If we have 3 1-card combos with our commander, it's worth it.
Okay, but I don't know if we do. I don't think we. Yeah, I don't know.
So what is there? There's the other Niv Mizzets, but I don't know if we want to run both of those. I think.
Because damage isn't life loss, so that's going to be a big thing. There's some life loss stuff that would combo it with it, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like when an opponent loses a life, da 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 da. You know?
Yeah. Let's check on Scryfall. So, whenever draw card, damage. Oh yeah, because Psychosis Crawler would work with it.
It wouldn't work with it because it's life loss.
Yeah, because it's life loss. It would work with it otherwise. Yeah. Let's see.
But Curiosity is still a good card though. I'd probably put that in this deck. Ooh, Ashling would be good in this deck.
Whenever you don't
maybe not.
cast a copy of instant source field, discard a card in the dark. I think it's a little bit too stormy.
Yeah.
Non-combat damage opponent. Nope.
Yeah, I don't think we have any combos besides the Mizzets. So we need whenever you draw a card, deal damage to an opponent. Is that what we want?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any of that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the one that combos with Shabraz, but that's white blue, I think.
Oh yeah, Dragskull Reaver. That's gain life.
Oh, that's gain life. You're right.
Yeah.
I love Enduring Curiosity. That card's really good.
Yeah. I wish Glenhorn Buccaneer worked. So sad.
Does it?
No, because you have
no.
maximum hand size.
He's dealing
They got
damage.
us with that.
Yeah. What about any of the backgrounds? The commander creatures you control have blah 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 blah.
Oh, that's a good idea. We'll check those next. That's definitely, there's got to be something in there.
Mm.
Say, discard a land card. No.
What about cards like Treasonous Ogre?
Is that or it's just? Oh yeah, I think we definitely want Treasonous Ogre in this deck.
Yeah, like I definitely, I like I said, I want to flirt with the line of, I definitely want to cast my commander for a fact. Like I'll throw Treasonous Ogre in the deck. It's just not the main game plan. But we're definitely playing both. Yeah.
We definitely want to be able to burst.
Yeah.
Like kind of just like pick the correct moment to do it is I think what the deck's about.
Yeah, and then we're gonna talk about how many like draw engines are we playing.
Yeah. So I think we want to run to Fire Mine, but not Perun.
No, I like that one. The one next to Perun because it's activated ability.
Yeah, it's not infinite though.
Why not?
He just deals a damage. He deals 1 damage, and then you draw a card from him dealing a damage. And then you draw another card from the other Niv Mizzet, and then the combo, and then it stops.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Fire Mine's easy to cast.
We could put it in now, but what is that? A 6 mana combo with your commander that we're probably never gonna cast. Yeah. So that can be. We'll talk about that. That'll be one of the last cuts we'll talk about.
I think it's reasonable to have this on the battlefield and then cast your commander.
Are we on Curiosity too? Because that might work as well.
Maybe if we're on both of these, it might be worth.
Yeah, I don't think we play Perun because Perun I think is dead after the ban.
I agree. It's too difficult to cast.
Yeah.
I guess it. Morale deals damage to you. I think Razorkin Needlehead's worth.
Yeah, that's one of the ob cards I was talking about. Whenever an opponent draws.
Yeah.
I feel like not the when you cast non-creature spells, I think those are probably bad, but the ones that are draw hate, because when I tell you after playing the Boil, every single game somebody had an engine. I don't care if it was Esper, River Song. I don't care if it was Esper.
Play River Song. Because she deals a lot of damage.
When her opponent scries, surveils, or searches, put a counter on River Song, then
I almost put Niv Mizzet in River Song, but then I was like, oh, he's 6 mana on River doesn't really trigger like once you're at that stage of the game too much. But like if you're turboing your commander out and then having River Song, that's pretty good. And River Song does stop like Thrasios, for example, from going off. So it does make the game longer. I think it's worth it.
Thrasios is like the best card right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's why I think it's one of the reasons I think River is good now.
Okay.
A bunch of people are playing the things that she's good against. She also like every time someone cracks a fetch land, she deals damage to them. If they want to go and tutor later in the game and River's on the battlefield, then they can't because they're at lower life total. And especially if we're playing other things that deal damage and pressure life totals already, I think it's a worthwhile stacks piece.
Yeah, that can be like the 90s cards is what I call them. The last few slots we can play a card like that we might be coping, but it might be busted, right? Yeah. Like I remember in Winota, people didn't like Rick at first, and they realized that Rick was busted in Winota, right? Mm-hmm. So I would like to find a card like that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be busted, but I think it'll be worth playing.
Yeah, there's a new Scalding Viper I want to try out in this deck too.
Oh yeah. Let's put that in before we forget about that.
Scalding Viper, it's the adventure.
That card's underrated AF. Yeah, Steam Clean is so good too.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's also one with Renown, a 3 mana Renown one that says whenever opponent casts a non-creature spell, it deals 2 damage to them, but I don't know if that's quite good enough. Yeah, it's got haste, but Renown is hard to trigger because it's only a 2/2. People block
we definitely got to throw. I would like to try the new one, the Bolt Wave. I just think 1 mana draw 9 is really good.
Okay.
It's probably like, but that would probably be like it. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the bad cards without our commander.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Right. I feel like that's like about it. 1 mana draw 9, or hey, someone just ad naused and I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess we don't want Mox Amber. I'm gonna put Narset in before we forget. I think that card's actually great.
Narset.
Yeah, part of Veils. I think we should be on the wheels.
Okay.
Especially if we're doing like Razorkin, Needlehead, and Narset.
Okay. I'm down with Wheel of Fortune and Wheel of Misfortune, like for sure. And then Windfall and Time Twister can be the end, right? But getting started for sure.
I think those ones are fine.
Yeah, I also like Rite of Flame, right? I feel like we could play like that, but I feel like the rituals we probably don't play.
Yeah.
What about the new?
I don't know, maybe Seething Song? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that too. That's just a lot.
Yeah.
But that's that line that we're going to be flirting with, right?
Exactly.
And then tutors are going to be rough in this deck, so I think we do play Spellseeker. What about the red tutor that you can get?
The Imperial Recruiter?
No, the red sorcery. You get an artifact, but it's a gamble or something. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, Reckless Handling. I don't know if we're actually going to be searching for that many artifacts. We should be on Urza's Saga, though. That's probably a good way to get extra mana. That gets you a lot of colorless mana. We want that. I think it gave us 28 lands. I think that's too many, but we don't want that too low. I think like 20.
Yeah,
probably like 24 with a bunch of MTFCs.
Yeah, we can see how many rituals and how fast the deck actually is. Like, I don't think we played Gemstone Mine or Prismatic Vista. I think those are crazy.
Yeah, let's cut all the bad ones.
But we can afford islands and shit in this deck, so it's fine.
Don't need Cavern of Souls. Don't need City of Brass.
So what do you think about Flame Rift, or is that too much?
I think that's too much.
A 2 mana, draw 12 if we have our commander, or do nothing.
Yeah, I think it's mostly going to do nothing, and 2 mana is a lot for that.
Yeah, I think the 1 mana deal 3 is probably like the only one of those we play, right?
Oh my gosh. I think this is I agree. I think this is a Mystic Sanctuary deck.
Ooh.
I think we actually, because like we're not playing that many.
Yeah, we don't care about our fucking life total, right? We could play.
Yeah,
what's the one we have Threshold? You draw 3, discard 2 or something.
Oh, Cephalid Coliseum.
Yeah, we play that easily in this deck.
Maybe it's not a Mystic Sanctuary deck then. Or do we want to be on like Basics and Mystic Sanctuary, and then maybe have the option to stick like a Blood Moon and back to Basics in, or do we want to be on like utility lands like Barbarian Ring?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like the Blood Moon and the new Blue Moon creature, the Harbinger or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. There's so many options. You're right. Heck it, we're cutting Mystic Sanctuary. Actually,
I don't know.
Yeah, we're cutting Mystic Sanctuary. We're gonna go all in on the Blood Moon stuff. I think that's a good idea. We have to cut Urza's Saga for doing that too. Then.
Oh
but
yeah,
I think it's worth it. Urza's
sacrifices.
Yeah. Power.
I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves. Right. I feel like this, but no. Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
Lands are important. They set the tone for the deck sometimes. I think like with a deck like this one where it's a control deck. So you have to make a decision with your mana what you're doing, because like there is that choice that you can go with the control decks that we were just talking about. Like, do you want to go in on like moons and basics, or do you want to go in on like Barbarian Ring, Cephalid Coliseum, other like utility lands, Mystic Sanctuary?
I feel like Blood Moon is the best it's ever been.
I agree. Yeah, I think Blood Moon is the way to go.
4, 5, 3-color decks that aren't playing basics, and a Blood Moon is just going to lock the game out. And you know what we want to do? We want to lock the game out to play our commander.
Yeah. Let's get Blood Moon in there. I think you're right.
Maybe not Magus. Magus can be on the back burner, but I definitely at least a Blood Moon.
We have a lot of slots, actually. What about back to basics?
Ooh.
What's your thoughts on?
Is that the one where he doesn't untap?
Yeah, never mind. I don't think that's good enough. All right, so then we'll add. I put in snow-covered basics in my decks now. This is something I started doing recently instead of regular ones, because they go to each other in the alphabetical.
Yeah, I don't even know if you want to play a mountain, do you?
No, yeah, you're right. Screw that. We don't need a mountain.
No, I think you play snow-covered island. Well, I'm used to like the Tainted Pack decks. You play 2 snow-covered islands and be fine because you're on Banamo, Seeking the Stupor, Odawara, right?
We need Thundering Falls.
Yep. Is that the Scry one?
Yeah, I think we do want Mystic Sanctuary
Oh
after
my!
debating it a lot.
Isn't there a land that is fetchable, but when it ETBs, it deals the damage to somebody, but it taps? That would be saucy. Where my land drop, I trigger my commander.
I think there's Piranha Marsh, but that's not fetchable. That's black too. There's a desert that does it. I don't know if there's a fetchable one.
Oh yeah, it's not
There's, like,
fetchable. You're right. It's like the gain life ones, where red blue enters tapped, you ETB, you gain a life. It's the same thing, but it does 1 damage to each opponent. So it's a land drop that can draw us 3 cards with our commander out, but it's a tap land. So
Yeah. What were the? Oh, gotta add the
NBFC lands. Yeah.
MDFC lands. Yeah, Hydroelectric Specimen, the one that destroys. It's volcanic.
And then Pinnacle Monk. You're definitely on that card.
100% we're on Pinnacle Monk. That card's so good.
Oh my god, that card's so busted.
Like, Ardent Elementalist was already a card that was almost good enough. I'm sad that Dockside's gone right after they printed Pinnacle Monk, because there's Dockside Twin Flame Pinnacle Monk as another mono red combo.
Yeah, let me look at our sorceries. Is this a Blast Act deck? What
No, I
creatures-
think we'd rather run, if we want another wipe, just regular old Earthquake, because it's the same. It draws us a bunch of cards with our commander.
Fucking Earthquake. Oh, I'm so in.
Doesn't even hit and miss it. We can go big.
Let me see. Let me read it.
It's creatures without flying.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
But
the same as
without
roll.
flying.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit our commander.
Oh,
I think that's actually kind of sick.
All right. Yep, you got
what
me.
was wait, did I get all the MDFCs? Hydroelectric, Pinnacle Monk, and this one and something. Yeah, okay. We want to be on Shatter Skull too, and the other one, Seagate. Because we're making enough mana for our commander. Seagate's only 1 more.
I mean, we could afford to play like the Shivan Reefs, the Fire Islets, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about City of Traders, but probably.
I don't think we need City of Traders. Very valid though, for sure. Oh no, City of Traders for sure. We want to be on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
wonder if we want more. Let's see. We're at 29 lands now. Hold on. We don't need this many lands. I think do we need Talon Gates?
We're not. We don't have any land tutors, right? I think we cut Vista, right?
Yeah, I agree. We cut Vista.
Yeah, I think we're okay then.
I think we can cut Talon Gates too, because if we're playing a moon, or maybe even multiple moons, we don't need it. Odawara is fine. That's from hand.
We're on 6 MDFCs. I love it.
Yeah, I love the new MDFCs in 2-color decks. You can greed so hard.
Yeah, that's.
With them. I think 27 lands is fine. So we have 6 more slots.
Yeah, I think Blood Moon stays, and then we'll talk about Magus later.
Yeah, I think we can maybe just add it now. I think we don't want Intuition after more thinking.
Yeah, how many cards are we at?
93.
Oh shit, we're already almost there. All right, well, let's make sure we get the staples. I'm gonna look at my notes.
We have the correct amount of lands.
I saw a card, Cave In. Remove a red card from your hand, cast it for free.
Yeah.
But like cards like that though, I see. I don't know. It's like cool and all,
sweet.
But it's ass if we're not doing our commander shit, right?
Well, no, because it wipes dorks. It sets everyone back. Kills Timna.
Oh, it's each creature.
Yeah, I have that in my Kara Song deck, or my Kara Song deck. I'm thinking about River Song and
Kara Song.
I have a Sir Kara Dragon's Approach deck called Oh Lord, She Coming. There's a video on that too. And it's in there, and it's one of the best cards in that deck. Yeah, Caven's sick. I should look at that deck. Hold on, I'm gonna open up a new tab.
Actually, that's not. I think we're cooking. That's not a bad idea.
Ideas.
All right, I just got a side quest idea.
Okay, let's see. Anything worth taking? Oh my god, there's
so why don't we play all the ones that does that with our commander, but board wipes every good one? So it's like we're board wipe, have our commander.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good way to go.
Yeah, because like that is control at its core. Like I'm gonna play this early Blood Moon. I'm gonna play this early whatever. I'm gonna board wipe you guys. X's2 is a board wipe, right? Like a Toxic Deluge, but in red. And
Yep,
people aren't ready for that. People aren't ready for board wipes. They're not ready for you to counter the Ristic studies.
No, I super agree with that.
Yeah, see, the
There's not a
Gutshot,
ton
I
of
feel like that's Cope.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
still kind of, I don't know, maybe
Okay.
on Seething Song.
Yeah, let's throw it
I
in so
think
we
it's
don't forget. Yeah.
I think our commander is enough mana where it's worthwhile. It is +2. It's the Dark Ritual.
Well, also, if we're playing the cards that have X in them, right, we're okay with just dumping mana in this deck.
Exactly.
Shatter Skull, Earthquake, Rolling Earthquake. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I'm down with that. With the Jessica's Wills, with the Seething Songs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we missed any staples. Cards in the Festivities. See, I don't like that card. 1 mana sorcery, deal 1 damage to each opponent, each creature, and Planeswalker. That's kind of the cards we want to be off of. But like, I feel like the Bolt Wave stays.
Yeah, we don't want to play like a ton of creatures, I don't think, because we're focused on.
Ooh, I got an idea. Board. Yeah, 100%. What about a Flare of Duplication? Do we have any play?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. Because you can steal a tutor with that.
Yeah. What about Into the Flood Maul? That card's been doing a lot of work for me.
Yes, yeah, that's a good one too.
And you can give an opponent a 1/1 fish, not the opponent that you're bouncing it.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely a good one for control. Let me take a look at River Song and see what River Song decks or cards.
Oh, what's the card? Oh my god, I just thought of it. The Progress card. Something Progress.
Oh, let's see. Price of Progress?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Yeah, you got him. I don't know if that's good, but we're running that.
Oh no way. That's fucking perfect in this deck. Awesome.
Oh my
Bring
god.
it up, baby.
We have to run it.
It's an instant.
I want to kill someone with that after they Naz or something.
For each non-basic land he or she controls. Like, are you kidding me?
That's they go to like play their first mana rock after Nazing, and like Chrome Mox is on the stack, and I'm like, okay, Price of Progress, take 8.
That's so good.
Yeah, I'm so here for that card. I'm so here for that.
That might be a little cope, but
yeah, it's too cool. It might be, but like fuck it. It's
an instant, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not on shocks, but we can be on cards like that.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
And it's each creature, it's each player, right?
Yeah. Oh, so, what about Polywog Prodigy and Ledger Shredder?
So we're gonna look at
grow. So
I feel like let's look at our creatures. So when we start to talk about cards like that, right? Like we're on 3 or 4 board wipes.
Yeah, we're on 4.
I don't like.
But they're
I would play the Volatile over Gillidrake. Is that just in case someone takes our commander?
It's just kind of to disrupt other people's commanders.
Yeah, but Volatile is better because you can remove the problem. Like, say there's a Collector Oof or a Dranith, you can just.
Yeah, we can just cut it because we're on board wipes. So maybe we just don't care.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so. All right, so this is another thing we're gonna have to figure out. Okay, do you want to be on all the board wipes or do you want to be on the good creatures? Because I feel like the Treasonous Ogres and all those cards, we don't want to board wipe those.
Well, I don't think the creatures that we're playing are really affected by board wipes as much as Ragavan is. But also Ragavan
it's Ragavan.
Gives us a ton of mana.
Yeah, Spellseeker we don't care about.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Crom is the biggest creature in the format generally, so like this one's gonna be bigger than Crom pretty quickly. These ones are gonna be stealing important things. Like River Song is gonna get big. This one, I think we're trying to win the turn we cast this card.
Okay.
Usually, so we don't really care about it as much.
And Niv-Mizzet is 4. That's the win con.
Yeah.
Do we play Emperor Tutor?
No, I don't think we should.
Okay.
We don't really have, besides Dualcaster Mage, any creatures we want to search for consistently. I don't know if we want the Needlehead if we're on board wipes. Maybe we cut the Needlehead in like a wheel.
Okay.
Okay.
How many wheels are we on?
A couple. All 4 right now. Yeah.
And what graveyard recursion do we have? Just Breach?
I think just Breach. We can run Repeal.
Well, I mean, Time Twister, right? Time Twister's fine.
Oh, yeah. Twister and Breach. That's plenty.
Yeah. I like Narset, I think.
I like her because she slows down like people trying to do extra draws, and it's another way to like combo with the wheels. We wanted to do something there.
God, I love that Wheel of Misfortune as a fucking card in this deck.
Yeah, she sticks. We're board wiping, so she'll probably stay.
Mhm.
And she gets us card advantage, like put rocks in her hand. Maybe we want to run more rocks.
The only other card I wrote down, I saw in the EDH rec was the Descent into Avernus. I feel like that card's really slow, and we probably don't play it, but is a card we should at least look at.
I love that card, but I don't think it's good in CDH because it gives your opponents a ton of treasure.
Yeah, but in our commander.
Yeah, but it's on our upkeep. So
Yeah,
you have
it's a little slow. Yeah, it's
yeah, people will plan for it.
At the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 counters on it. Then each player creates. Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah,
They don't come.
My fear is like someone being like, "Oh, 6 sent into Vernus." I'm gonna like stall the game for 2 turns, wait till I get that big burst of 6 mana, and then Born Upon the Wind win the game.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you're right.
I just fear that play pattern.
You're
we want
right.
to run Grinding Station?
No, fuck no, hell no. We're on Grim Monolith.
I think we should
we're
run
on
some
One
more.
Ring. I don't think we're on Mopal. I think Mopal died post-ban unless you're Rock's High.
I think Mopal is still good, especially because we're running like. I want to be running more rocks because our commander is 4 colorless mana, so like we can run like 2 mana rocks. Like
I just thought of this too. Our commander is an ad nauseum. If we resolve our commander and resolve one of those X spells, we're drawing 10 cards. So cards like Mox Opal's fine.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I want to run. This is a really underplayed card. I think.
Whenever legendary control, you may come with legendary equipment. Gain 3.
Yeah, the Iron Crag. It's a 2 mana rock, enters untapped, taps for colorless. Sometimes you need to make your commander bigger, and it can do that. It can make it +3/+3, which is good because you can use it to buff creatures so they can survive the board wipes in this deck, which I think it'll be useful for. And also, our commander is a gigantic flying 5/5, so making it an 8/8. That's if we're playing control stuff already. Sometimes games just get to that point where you can.
We are playing burn too, yeah. So their life totals might be relevant.
Someone sitting behind a Rhystic Study with 1 billion counter spells. Yeah, well, kill them in 2 hits with your commander after you burn them out with a bunch of other stuff throughout the point, like the whole course of the game, and then combo off. So it could be good for that too. But like mostly, it's just a 2 mana rock that enters untapped. I think it's good to have more of those in this deck because you have to pay that 4 colorless cost, and there's no Dockside. We don't have to give a fuck about Dockside anymore.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to think of what other 2 mana rocks there are that are good that enter untapped.
You know what deck I've been? It's probably bad. What card I've been flirting with because I was fucking with my Gyruda deck is Mindstone. How come Mindstone's not played in CEDH?
Oh, I already got it in here. It's in here. I'm with you. That card is underrated.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah. It's so good. How is that card bad in any way? That card is fucking busted. It comes in untapped. You can draw a card later when you have too much mana. Like,
Yep, especially with our commander with like the Niv Mizzet combos, you can use it to start off the Niv Mizzet combo if you really need to. Like if you cast the Niv Mizzet Firemind and then you have the extra 1, you can draw the Mind Stone and start.
Yeah.
What do you think about Glittering Stockpile?
I was just looking at that.
Adds a red, you get a counter on it, and then you can sacrifice it to add X, where X is. So you would sacrifice it to go like +1 mana. Then like 1 to 2 turns later. I don't know if it's good enough.
Yeah,
we need a lot of bursty mana with our commander.
Oh, you know what we do run though? We run the Signet.
Oh yeah, I don't know what
Seething Song, bam, hit our commander. Yeah,
definitely want
that card. What about like Jeweled Amulet? We're not really messing with that, are we? Imposter Mech.
Maybe if we were on Grinding Station, I'd be more for that card, but I don't think it's good enough with Grinding Station.
Yeah. I think we're on Curse Mirror before we're on Imposter Mech, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't like.
I like Imposter Mech for stealing Bowmasters in control decks, because then it's a Bowmaster that can't be killed by other Bowmaster clones.
Well, I guess.
So you can.
Okay, that's not bad.
You can steal
I guess our commander
so you clone a Bowmasters. Yeah, and then you have like a non-creature Bowmaster, so it's hard for people to interact with your creature. I think that's one of the cards that people are going to keep against this deck for sure. They're like, oh, the Mythic deck, we're keeping the hand.
So wouldn't we be on that over Phantasmal Image, because that's just a Bowmaster kill, and then we're on board wipes, right?
Yeah, I think we're on both. I think the Image sometimes becomes. Yeah, I have both here.
Well, and we're on Metamorph. Like, what are we really cloning nowadays?
That's true. Let's get rid of it.
I like Metamorph.
Maybe we don't need Image. then
It's up to you. Like this is your thing, right? I'm just throwing my 2 cents out here. And then what
no, I'm with
about
you.
Fairy
I like the
Mastermind? Because our commander doesn't draw cards.
I don't want to do Fire Mastermind because it's got 1 toughness,
Okay.
and it doesn't. And like Scalding Viper has other things to do. Like Steam Clean is playable, and like if you have it on the battlefield with the commander, it starts to draw you insane. It's like a Ristic Study.
Ragavan, Spellseeker, we don't care about. Pinnacle Monk is
Exactly.
a land. Okay.
Everything else either gets bigger or does something as soon as it enters.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to do the Mastermind.
I think this is we should definitely play test a couple things, but I think this is a real deck.
Yeah, we're at 97 cards right now, so we can add more if we want.
And we haven't like done our research and looked at other lists and look at, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's other cards that we're missing, but like here, base is the shell, right? Maybe we need more mana. That's about it, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's the thing to do is look at other lists. Do you have other lists?
I don't. I wanted to be. I wanted to be original. I didn't want to be. Oh, just copy paste, right?
Normally in my deck building process, this is when I post my deck list on like Twitter or in various Discords and ask if anyone else has a deck list, and then go through their deck list.
Yeah. I was just talking about for the channel. Yeah. This is just to give somebody, like I have a couple beginners, to give somebody, hey, this is the mindset. This is why we're doing it. Like definitely, like we probably miss some stuff. I mean, I can look at a list if you want.
I think Misdirection is probably another one we want to be on. It protects our commander after we've just spent a bazillion mana to cast it. I'm looking at River Song right now, taking ideas.
Yeah, I definitely think free interaction is where we want to be.
Yeah,
I really like the board wipe plan. Is there more of those? You know what else we should be on? I think Steel Enchantment will do a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
Because Smothering Tithe is gonna shit on us.
Yes.
Steel for Ristic Study, Smothering Tithe. Yeah, what's our enchantments look like?
We have Mystic Remora, Steel Enchantment, Underworld Breach, Ristic Study.
And then are we good with 27 lands?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 27 lands is fine. We could add another one just because we were at 99 cards. I'm not sure what else we want to add, but I think adding
I would add mana, right? That's the only thing. Born Upon a Wind, Muddles in the deck. I love Price of Progress, Misdirection. Okay. Did you cut Snap?
I just realized I have my card. Yeah, I did cut Snap. The cards are shrunk on the screen. Let me.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's okay. It was just. So we're on Pyro and Red. We're on Flood Maw. We're on Chain of Vapor, which is fine. Okay, so we're on all the bounce spells. There we go. Yeah, I think this deck has legs. You just want to go to. We'll add a card and play test it.
Yeah, I think we want to add another mana rock, honestly, because.
All right, what do you got? Our Diamond Opal, Grim Monolith, Mind Stone.
I'm immediately thinking of Fractured Power Stone, but that's because I'm a CEDH boomer, and that was a playable card.
We're on 17 artifacts, though.
Yeah.
I think we're okay. What about rituals? Are we on Rite of Flame?
Yeah, we are. I think so. This is instance. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think just throwing in. Oh, you know what? Crystal Vein.
Okay.
And that's a good one.
And I like looking at it, right? We only have one Blood Moon in a deck that can't tutor for a Blood Moon besides Gamble. Urza Saga isn't going to be that bad. Like, getting that Mana Vault is half the time, and other half our Urza Saga dies to a Blood Moon. Like, we just float the mana in response, right? Like, I think it's
another thing to consider is the depletion lands.
Oh yeah, I like the red one, the one that doesn't go to. It comes in tap, but you can tap it for 2, right?
Yeah, I don't know if those are quite it for this deck. We're not trying to like burst quickly. We're just trying to burst eventually. So those probably aren't.
Right. I think that mana base is good. We got a Surveil land. We got the Saga. We're on one Blood Moon effect, right? Yeah, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think we're fine. All right, let's give it a playtest. Let's give it a run.
Yeah, and then later we could always be like, oh, we forgot this card. And we're like, okay, add one card.
Yeah. All right, we can kind of. Yeah, you can see my whole hand. I'm blocking the thing. Let me
There we go.
Aha!
Aha!
Heck yeah. Still
And
got
like-
it, baby.
And Mizzet might even be cope, right? Or it might be insane because it's a one. It's like all be one with Ob Nixilis. This is what this deck reminds me of.
Yeah. I think we mulligan this hand. We don't
Yep.
have red.
Well, what are we going? Are we on the play? I always do the random. The
I don't
roll a
know.
D4.
Do you have a way of figuring it out? Yeah, maybe do that.
Yeah, go to top. It'll be player, and then roll a D4, and then it'll tell you.
We're going third.
Okay.
All
Yep.
right, cool.
Yeah, we mull.
Yeah, mulligan this. Surveil land, ledger shredder, not too
That's a
slow.
mull. Yep.
Just Rite of Flame. 2 lands and a Rite of Flame and a Ristic Study. Yeah, we keep that. Put Final Fortune at the bottom. I think you are right. Final Fortune might not be good enough.
Yeah. But I mean, we can test it.
We're
Right?
too mana intensive.
Yeah.
All right, so we draw for turn.
Ooh.
Guy into play.
Jessica's will.
Pass the turn. Crack, get a Surveil land.
Is that a turn 2 commander?
It could be. Surveil.
With the earthquake? Ooh.
We gotta land anyway. Yeah, I think maybe we can go land,
Right of
Rite of Flame, Jessica's Will, add 6 because it's turn 2.
Yep.
Do we play turn 2 commander or do we play
Nah,
Ristic Study?
it's probably
We
Ristic Study.
play turn 2 commander.
Okay.
We have
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he has
we
no
don't-
protection.
No, we should play the. I think it's better to play the Ristic Study.
I think it's Ristic Study. Like, if we're playing in tournaments, right? If we're just coping, playing with our buddies, we're playing tournaments, it's definitely Ristic Study, and we're sitting behind it for 3 turns, and then Commander Earthquake win.
I think it's still commander next turn, honestly, but it depends on the Jessica's Will.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what we draw.
Turn 2
So I
Study, probably drawing 2 cards. Yep.
Yeah.
So 3 mana, tap out for a Jessica's Will. Yeah, we don't have the blue.
Do we? Yeah. I think we just wait. You can play the Iron Crag.
You got
We
to
probably.
sell me on that card. We have Swan Song, Earthquake.
Yeah. It's just a mana rock. I think we need more density of rocks for this deck, and it doesn't have a downside of entering tap, and it does something that might help us sometimes.
Yeah. See, like with Flare, I kind of don't like Flare, but I do like Flare because say we have like an Earthquake on the stack, we can sack our thing that's going to die anyways and get another Earthquake.
Yeah.
And that's drawing
we can just, like,
20 cards with our commander.
Yeah, we can also just like steal a tutor with it, which is always good.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at another one.
All
What
right.
we got?
So we're on turn 4 now. We didn't draw a land, which is sad. We could put 2 mana rocks into play, pass, and then have enough to like Jessica's Will Commander, have mana left over to Earthquake on turn 5, which I think is a pretty good clock.
But
or we could Jessica's Will now, but I think it's better to wait.
I mean, it's all. I don't go that far in when I play tests on Moxfield because you never know, right? I always do like 2 or 3. But
yeah,
there's no wrong way to do it. I would just look at another hand.
Heck yeah, let's go see.
All right, what we got?
No,
hell no. What are we going first?
Oh yeah, let me roll.
Why are these hands bad? Fuck. Second.
This is like this is a trash hand.
Yeah. Come on, give me something.
Oh my god,
No
we have
lands?
more lands than usual in this deck. We're literally on extra mana. It's making fun of us. What do we got? Like 6?
We're at 5.
Or 5. This is
isn't
fine
bad.
for a 5.
Yeah, this is fine.
It's not doing anything right now.
Breach,
I think we're unironically on the Commander Lightning Bolt plan.
Breach and Crag. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's sick. All right, that sped us up by a whole turn.
Boom, boom.
Do we go for Mox Opal and Stervale land, or do we go for Mox Opal, Mind Stone,
Mox Simon?
or Mox Opal Grim Monolith?
No, I think
Surveil
I think we go
land.
survey. Yeah, Surveil land into Mind Stone and see if we draw another land, right?
Yeah.
Or Grim
All
Monolith.
right, so we'll
yeah.
back to this.
Thundering Falls. Yep.
Oh, that is another land. Yeah, we keep
There
that.
we go. Yep.
Play that. Play
Playland.
that.
Now we're cooking. Yep.
That.
Mox Diamond Integrate Monolith.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're cooking. Yep. Okay. So
Then we go to our turn,
now,
we're
when
gonna-
we cast our command,
Ah! Heck, why do you have to give me decisions to make?
I definitely think it's Commander with Lightning Bolt, right?
Yeah, I still think it's Commander Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
It's turn 3.
Yep.
We got to do the thing.
Draw 3 cards.
Oh, and they're good
Oh,
cards.
baby. Yes. That's what we're
Are we
talking
gonna-
about. Yeah, just hold up
Hold
a
up
Pyroblast.
Pyroblast.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have to use that Pyro.
Yep.
And then, let's see.
Versus Study beat some with
yeah,
our
just-
commander. Yeah, that's
just
fine.
drop the study and chill.
Or we can draw a card with Mindstone. Fire
Nah, I
up.
think we used to play an Arcane Signet and then just hope we draw into an Earthquake or something. Or this Pinnacle Monk to get back Lightning Bolt. Kind of sick.
6 mana, draw 3. I like it.
All right. Yeah,
We
we're
got-
at turn 5 though. We'll restart.
Yeah.
I think.
So there's a
It's
couple
interesting
funky
'cause we're-
cards. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not like we don't. I wish we had a more consistent way to slow the game down. That's what I'm kind of noticing.
Yeah. I'm not really sold on Polywog and River Song yet, but we can still play them out.
I don't think Polywog is good at all. The more I think about it,
Yeah.
you have to play a commander to grow up. Basically,
Yeah, I like
And there's a couple
River
cards
Song
on
because
top.
the ceiling. I feel like
I think we need more ways to slow the game down.
Yeah.
So I think
we
River
cut
Song is
Polywog and we cut Final Fortune, and then we put control
100%
pieces
get that
in.
Final Fortune
Yep.
out.
I think we put Snap back in.
Yes.
What about Snap back? Ooh.
Maybe. It's
Maybe.
it's pretty good with the being free. It can also be used to protect our commander. We can put it back in our hand.
What about
Yeah, I
Valley
like
Flood
Snap.
Caller?
It dies to board wipes, but it could still be. I mean, it'll be at +3/+3 if we play it with the spell before the board wipe. It'll be a 4/4. I don't know. Maybe we're at 100 cards again now.
Okay. Oh, we're good. Okay.
I don't know if there's anything else.
I don't know if I like the Icing Crag.
I like it just because it's a rock. I actually think we need more rocks.
So it's just a 2 mana rock, and then whatever else is extra.
Yeah. I used to play like in some decks Fractured Power Stone, which is a 2 mana rock that enters untapped and rolls the planner die. So like if like it's better than that. I think 2 mana rocks that enter untapped.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and when we're done here, I'm gonna sleeve this up, and then I'm gonna play it this weekend, and then we'll go from there, right?
Heck yeah.
Guys, that is a Niv Mizzet deck, guys.
Yeah. It's a deck. I think there's definitely changes to be made. Like Wandering Archaic is a card to consider for a deck like
yeah,
this.
and the Narset stuff, and then we can go back on the wheels. We can do the Magus. There's definitely room, but the base of this deck, I love the idea of it. Like, we could probably cut Bolt Wave, but again, 1 mana draw 9 is really good, right? And that's what we
100%.
want to do. I like playing with my commanders, right?
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to he's castable. He's got 4 colorless mana in his casting cost.
Right.
You can
right.
cast him.
Yeah, I think he's
But
better
it's
in Peru
important.
now, for sure.
Yeah, it's important to build around being able to cast him sometimes.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of other things that we definitely missed. Oh, I just thought of one that we should probably be on is Treasure Nabber. That steals people's artifacts.
Whenever someone taps
Yeah.
an artifact, you steal it.
We're gonna sneak that in really quick.
All right.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it. It's okay.
Yeah, no. I can't spell Treasure Nabber. Nobody saw that either though.
Yeah. Yep. Can I read him?
All right,
What's he
sick.
saying again?
So whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until the end of your next turn. Yeah, so you get usually +2, +3 mana from him.
Did you want to look at another list real quick before we end this? We could just see.
Yeah, let's see what else.
Let's just see
Yeah,
if
what
we're
other people
missing
are
something.
doing. Nim is it Supreme?
Ugh.
Oh, there's none. Oh, maybe it's just not a thing.
Oh, it's not legal yet. Tomorrow.
Oh, it isn't? Oh,
Well,
wow.
you
It's
can play it
the
in
auto.
tournaments from the pre-release, but technically that card isn't legal yet.
Gotcha.
That's why.
That explains it.
Mhm.
All right, well, I guess there aren't any lists to look at.
All right, sweet. That's
So if you have a list, send it in.
yeah. Let us
We can
know.
compare that.
Yeah, and then I'm sure me and Josh are gonna look at it later and be like, "Hey, man, like this." And I don't know when I'm gonna post this pod. Maybe I post it in a month, month and a half, 2 months, maybe in a couple weeks, and we will. Hey, this came out that we didn't see for Foundations, right? But
Yes. Yeah.
I definitely think, this is probably the right way to build it. But I mean, prove us wrong, right? Like there could be two other different ways to, oh no, I'm just going like the Atali mode and just all the rituals and playing my commander. If that's the right way, let us see it. Like I love Visit. I love Niv Mizzet. He's one of my favorite dragons ever, right?
Yeah. Oh, we forgot the sticker goblin.
Ugh,
That's another one.
nah, I'm
Oh,
good. That's all
that
you,
card's a
buddy.
staple now. Yeah,
If you have
I think
infinite
you're right.
mana in the outlet in the zone, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to build like commanders like this, and that's kind of like my favorite part about making content like this is that
Mm-hmm.
you get to open up this discourse with the deck lists and have people be like, I built the deck list that's like 75% the same, but I built this part differently, and
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
that becomes a collaboration, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, like with TNT, right? Like the top four of the Boyle, the TNT decks were like 20 cards apart, right?
Wow, I didn't know that. That's sick.
Yeah, Max B and Jorman's list were like 30 cards apart. You're talking about the winner, and then the guy in the top four of like 2 weeks ago tournament. And it was like, what? Because people are trying other stuff out. Like someone's doing the instant speed stuff. Someone's doing the Grand Abolisher stuff. Someone's doing the Dosin. Like there's a lot of different builds of these decks, and that's what I like. But that's what I like about with this deck is it's going against the meta. I feel like if somebody took this deck and played 30 games with it, maybe even 15 games with it, and really fine-tuned and became a good pilot, this deck could accidentally win a tournament. And that's what I love about the meta and what we talked about earlier. Right? Like, yeah, we're just a couple guys that build a deck in an hour.
100%.
Yeah. I think River Song probably stays, but there's some other ones like, is the Niv Mizzet, is the combo any good? Like, is that just too much mana? We don't know, right?
Yeah.
How's the deck going to play out? Because I'll know in 3 games of, hey, man, I think we need to go to all the slower stuff. I think we need to play more lands. I think we need to do this. Like, we'll know in a couple games for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely part of the process with decks like this.
Yeah. But
it's a very fun process. It's why we like this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Blood Moon. I feel Blood Moon's a staple. Misdirection, Curse Mirror, Imposter Mech. I like that idea because I forgot our commander does draw cards.
It could be even that like the board wipes is wrong and going in on all 3 moon effects is correct.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
We don't know. But I love Earthquake, Rolling Earthquake. That makes me want to play the deck.
Me too. I love those cards. I used to be on them on Brawl and Shabraz as just like a way to win.
Well, like, see, with this deck, when you cut Detaxian Probe, I like Detaxian Probe in this deck because our commander doesn't draw. Well, our commander's 6 mana. But
yeah,
because that's just 1 mana, draw a card, see what someone's doing is fine. But again, the card is ass at the end of the day. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, I cut it because like I think it's like a good like filler card a lot of the times. I think it's good at decks that are trying to go really fast. Like if you're trying to like force a window, Get Probe is a great way to find that window. But I think with this deck, by the time you cast your commander, you've probably blown 1 to 2 players out anyway. So, or at least they've gotten blown out.
And I'm curious to the wheels too. Like, I don't know if a control deck like this wants to have that many wheels, but maybe it does. Maybe we just go all in on Breach, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I like Time Twister and Misfortune. I'm sus on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, but we'll
Time
see.
Twister, I'm like 6 out of 10 on. We'll super see.
Yeah, but like, what if we're just like, hey, we never cast our commander, there's a Dranith out, and then probably most of the time we win is with Breach, right? And we're gonna want that wheel, right? Or hey, it's turn 6, shit went sideways. I just drew this gamble, and I have everything in my graveyard because we wheeled earlier, right? Now just gamble Breach, I win, right? So the wheels might be the right call for sure. But I definitely think it's the card quality we're gonna have to kind of look at.
Yes.
For sure.
Or
like the Bolt Wave, we might end up cutting, right? Because it just might not be it, but we got to test it first. It's a brand new card.
Yeah. I find that often with deck building. You like come up with this concept, this thing that you want to do when you build a deck, and then you actually play the deck, and you're like, oh no, the thing I wanted to do sucks, but the deck is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, where
You
is
have
it?
to kill
right?
your darlings and cut your card that you wanted to build the deck around. I've done that many times. That's like I have like a writing degree, and like that's something that they like taught us in college. Is like sometimes as an author you have to like kill the character that you like the most. It's the best for the story. It's called Kill Your Darlings. And I remember that every time I cut like a card like Bolt Wave. I'm like, this is the reason that I built this deck is I want to pay 1 mana to draw 9 cards, but
Yeah.
sometimes I gotta.
Sometimes it might not be good, and I'm okay with it. I'm not attached to this deck yet. It's okay.
Yep.
But I want to see this deck. Looks like it has legs.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun at least to play.
Yeah, for
At
sure.
the very least, it'll be fun.
When I saw the Malcolm Cedh, I was like, holy shit. Malcolm hit,
Yeah, I think
Cedh
Malcolm
triggers, draws whatever, how many cards, 6 cards, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, Malcolm Cedh is a great place, like a home for that card for sure. I think also deck that people aren't playing, Malcolm Ishai, would also be kind of sick in Malcolm Ishai. But
whoa.
That's a deck that I want people to start playing. I'm not gonna play it myself because I'm on the Stella Lee grind and the River Song grind, and I don't really play enough to play more decks than that right now. But like I want someone to play Ishai Cedh and win with it because that deck's really good right now, I think.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's a very fun deck. You can kill me with combat damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope
like Delny.
Yeah.
Delny plus Cedh plus Ishai one-shots the board. Because Delny doubles your Cedh damage.
Yep. Ooh, that's so
Yeah,
good.
it's just a silly thing. Yeah, it's just silly things like that. And you have to play like the Viper that deals 1 damage to everybody.
Well, you can't play Ishai Malcolm. You can't play red.
No, you can't. No, it's not Malcolm, it's Cedh.
Oh, you're saying Ishai Cedh.
Yeah, because then when you bop someone for like 10 with Ishai, everyone gets bopped for 10.
And then Delny,
because Delny triggers with Cedh. Cedh is a creature that triggers Delny. Yeah, it makes it 20. And if you have a Curiosity on them, you draw instead of 3 cards, you draw 5 cards.
Yeah.
And then because the Curiosity deck, you're on Niv Mizzet. You're probably on this Niv Mizzet too. It's a good deck right now, I think.
Yeah, I got you. All right, well that's all the time we have. That was a long brew session. We had some technical difficulties, but we're here. We did it. If you guys have any questions, got any comments, put them down below. Let us know we're dumb, we're stupid, we're smart, whatever it is. I hope this deck has legs. I'm going to play it. Hopefully I can convince Josh to sleeve it up and we bring it out there. Like he's going to keep winning with Cedh. You know what? I don't want to win. I'm going to try this new deck out. So I appreciate having you on, man.
I'm not necessarily winning with Cedh right now, but
oh man,
I'm playing.
Really, that card is so good. I don't know how you're not winning that shit. I hate that stupid. No, I love it, but I hate playing against it.
Unironically, it's probably a skill issue.
100%. I agree. I didn't say I'm ever good at Magic. I suck at Magic. But is there, before we get out of here, is there anything you wanted to plug or anything you wanted to say?
No, not really. If you want to chat with me, I'm still the Discord, which is the main like hub of all of our content. The Eldendrunkenhighlander Discord is still active, so if you want to chat with us, come chat with us. We'll probably upload something eventually at some point, but we're just kind of living our life and having fun right now. We love that. So come chat with us. Come play a game online. Yeah,
I've been a part of the Discord for a while. It's a good time. And Josh has never been, oh, I'm a content creator, don't talk to me. No, Josh is like, oh, you got a dumb, stupid idea? Come here. I'm the guy to talk to about it. Like, Josh played with me and my brother a year and a half ago over Spell Table, and he's like, I just want to jam some games with strangers. And we're like, cool. Right? So,
I love looking at people's decks, like, genuinely, when people send me decks. Unless I'm, like, busy and then forget that there's a new deck in my Discord, then don't get to look at it. I will look at it and at the very least go like, oh, sick. Like it's fun. It's entertaining for me.
Yeah, you're definitely the jank guy for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. My Discord status is brewing optimized jank, and it's been that way for like 4 years.
Optimized jank. Yeah, it has. But all right, guys, that's another episode. I'm gonna put all his stuff down below, Discord, all that, his YouTube channel. If you got any questions, hit him up. That's the Doom of Fools podcast. Y'all have a good day. See ya.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
And on the men's side, a very creative effort by John Canabay. I saw him bust through walls and crush watermelons. But it was Josh LeBlanc showing both speed and power. And he takes home the title of world champion.